My dear friends, if St. Thomas were alive today, I think he would be one of the most misunderstood people on social media. Why? Because we live in a world that demands instant answers, instant messages, and instant judgments. Everyone seems certain about everything. Yet beneath all that confidence, many people are quietly struggling with questions. Questions about God, questions about the future, and so on. That is why St. Thomas matters more today than ever before. History remembers him as Doubting Thomas. But that title is unfair. Thomas was not a cynic, a rebel, or an unbeliever. He was a man who loved Christ so deeply that he refused to settle for a second-hand faith. When the other apostles told him that Jesus had risen, Thomas wanted more than a fact. He wanted an encounter. Perhaps that is the challenge for us today. Many people know facts about Jesus. Many people know prayers and traditions. But knowing about Christ is not the same as knowing Christ. Thomas wanted a personal encounter. And because he searched honestly, he found what he was looking for. Think about it. The very hands that Thomas wanted to touch became the hands that transformed his life. The wounds that seemed to prove defeat became the signs of victory. And the man who once said, "Unless I see, I will not believe," eventually fell to his knees and proclaimed one of the most beautiful confessions in the gospel, "My Lord and my God." Yet, there is something else about Thomas that is often being forgotten. Long before his moment of doubt, there was a moment of extraordinary courage. When Jesus decided to return to Judea after the death of Lazarus, the disciples were afraid because they knew danger awaited him there. It was Thomas who stood up and said, "Let us also go, that we may die with him." What a statement. The man remembered for doubting was also one of the first disciples willing to die for Christ. Perhaps the greatest tragedy is not that St. Thomas doubted. It is that history forgot his courage. And isn't that often how the world works? A person may spend years doing good, but people remember one mistake. A student may work hard for years, but others remember one failure. A priest may serve faithfully, but critics focus on one weakness. The world gave Thomas a nickname based on 1 week of his life. God gave him a mission that defined the rest of it. His doubt was not the final chapter. His mission was. So today, on the feast of St. Thomas the Apostle, let us stop being afraid of our questions and start bringing them to Christ. Because questions brought to Christ become faith. Wounds brought to Christ become strength. Failures brought to Christ become testimony. And ordinary people brought to Christ become saints. May our lives echo the words that changed history and continue to inspire believers today. My Lord and my God. Happy Feast of St. Thomas the Apostle.